told the House why it was so urgent to bring the ordinance on food security bill. What was the reason, sir?
You can look into the statement. Statement is
one more thing, sir. How soon you think you will be able to roll it?
Now it is the property of the House. Let them decide.
So that was KV Thomas not giving details, but he doesn't seem very sure, in view of the objections raised by the parties in the last minute. And Samajwadi Party is also saying that it will not support the bill. The bill is anti-poor, anti-farmer. With video journalist Jena, Deepak Vajpayee, News X, Delhi.
सबसे बात करेंगे, समाजवादी पार्टी से बात करेंगे, सबको समझाएंगे एक ऐसा बिल है जिससे देश के 70 करोड़ लोगों को राहत मिलेगी, सस्ता अनाज मिलेगा, गरीब के पेट में भोजन जाएगा। तो मुझे उम्मीद है कि सारी पार्टी समर्थन देगी। आई डोंट थिंक बोथ द इश्यूज शुड बी लिंक्ड।
ये कई महत्वपूर्ण सवाल जिसमें कि जिस तरह से अर्थव्यवस्था देश की पूरी तरह से डिमोलिश हो गई है, ध्वस्त हो गई है, रुपया कंगाल हो रहा है, डॉलर मालामाल हो रहा है, महंगाई चौतरफा सर चढ़कर बोल रही है, बेरोजगारी लगातार बढ़ रही है, आंतरिक सुरक्षा और राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा के खतरे दिन लगातार बढ़ते जा रहे हैं, और उसके साथ ही साथ जिस तरह से हमारी सीमाओं में चीन और कई अन्य देशों द्वारा घुसपैठ हो रहा है और हमारी सरकार हाथ पे हाथ रखे बैठी हुई है, ये तमाम ऐसे सवाल हैं जिन सवालों का जवाब भी इस सरकार को देना होगा।
फूड सिक्योरिटी जो अध्यादेश का जो मामला है, अब ये बिल में इसको कन्वर्ट करने के लिए जा रहे हैं, तो ये हाउस में आना बहुत जरूरी है। लेकिन ये जो अध्यादेश है, तो अपने देश में जो गरीब जनता है, तो उनको सस्ते दामों में खाद्य सामग्री मिल सके, तो अनाज मिल सके, तो उसके लिए ये अध्यादेश जारी किया गया, जिसको बिल में लाया जा रहा है, बिल के रूप में अब हाउस में लाया जाएगा। तो इस योजना का हमारी पार्टी सैद्धांतिक तौर पर इसका समर्थन करती है।
Well, a stormy parliament session today and not much business conducted. Let's go across to Deepak Vajpayee to get you all the latest on what really happened in the parliament. Deepak, it is said, well begun is half done. But the way today, the very first day of the monsoon session has begun, in fact, it doesn't speak too well or augur too well for the Congress. Seems there could be tumultuous times ahead of the Congress.
Well, of course, because it's a huge agenda ahead of them, and on the first day when it started, they could not send in their own MPs, and Congress MPs along with TDP MPs came to the well of the House in both the houses and did not allow the parliament to function. BJP started its press conference alleging that Congress can't set its own house in order. They are in a habit of alleging that the opposition did not allow the House to run, but this time the onus is on the Congress party. The opposition MPs kept sitting in the, in their seats, and they did not cause any ruckus in the parliament. So now the biggest challenge here before the floor managers will be that their own MPs allow the parliament to function. The second battle was with Mulayam Singh Yadav. Now it seems that the floor managers of the UPA have convinced Mulayam Singh Yadav. We saw some softening of stand on his part. In the afternoon he said that he is okay with supporting the food bill if the amendments that his party suggests are taken care of. So that battle seems to be won, but it seems that finance bills like pension bill might face some problem from BJP because they are not in favor of more than 26% FDI in the sector, and the other barriers that were there have been lifted by the government that BJP is not happy with. The rest of the things, it seems that all the major parties are going to support the Congress party, but only if they can retain their own MPs and allow the parliament to function.
Absolutely. So bigger challenges lined up ahead for the Congress as far as smooth functioning of monsoon session is concerned. In fact, Kamal Nath also proposed for 3-day extension there. Let's see if that proposal actually is taken and the session is extended from 16 to 19 days. But let's now talk about the fallout of the Telangana decision. Well, there have been protests across the country, right from Jantar Mantar in the national capital to the parliament there, and of course an indefinite strike there in Darjeeling. The cry for statehood demands have become stronger and louder. While amid the monsoon session in the parliament, MPs from smaller states raised slogans and stormed into the well of the House. Uproar over Telangana formation and demand for separate Bodoland has also escalated. Indefinite strike called by Gorkha Janmukti Morcha to demand the separate Gorkhaland has entered the third day in Darjeeling. So far, the incidents of violence had rocked Darjeeling, where an SUV was set ablaze in Kalinjhora near Sevok on NH31A. Another vehicle was also attacked in Mali PS. Meanwhile, Darjeeling police issued arrest warrants against 16 GJM or Gorkha Janmukti Morcha supporters for violating law, out of which 6 had been arrested yesterday. Now, several women protesters are also out on streets raising slogans in support of the Gorkhaland. The Muslim community, quite interestingly, has said that they will not celebrate Eid to express solidarity with GJM in their fight for a separate state.
Common people are not inconvenienced, that the Bandh is not forced on them, that no one is forced to do things which is against law, and there are least cases of law violation. There is not cases of law violation, and the Bandh should not be forced. As long as it is peaceful and spontaneous, we have nothing to do with this. But if it is being forced, because we also have control room open all across, anyone complaining to us, we are taking immediate action.
Well, I'm now joined by my colleague Saurabh Sarnial from Darjeeling to get you all the update from the hilly region of West Bengal. Well, Saurabh, tell us about the day's development. We know that people are emotionally attached to this issue of a separate statehood. How long has the agitation continued, and today specifically, how many people have participated? Is the agitation only growing by the day?
See, today the agitation took really a different turn, because today was a memorial service essentially, where people gathered in large numbers in Kalimpong, where I was from early morning. In Kalimpong, the body of Mangal Singh Rajput, the GJM supporter who had set himself ablaze and died on Saturday, his body was brought down there for people to come down and pay their respects. Gorkha Janmukti Morcha chief Bimal Gurung, who has now taken a non-compromising stand completely against the West Bengal government, was also there paying tributes to the martyr, who they call is a martyr for Gorkhaland. And there also we have seen people raising, anti-Mamta Banerjee slogans, anti-West Bengal government slogans, demanding the creation of the separate state of Gorkhaland. In fact, Bimal Gurung, while addressing the very emotive rally over there in Kalimpong, clearly said that, just clapping and merely singing will not get us Gorkhaland. What will is that we have to lay down our lives if it comes to that, and he squarely blamed Mamta Banerjee for unleashing a reign of terror, and said that any incident of violence or bloodbath that probably could ensue if the West Bengal government tried to clamp down by means of its own police as well as by deploying central security forces in Darjeeling, because the agitation will continue, is what Bimal Gurung has said, and there are no more false promises, no more negotiations, no dialogue whatsoever. He has ruled it out, and he has said that if the state of Gorkhaland, if the nation wants the blood of the Gorkhas, they're willing to lay down their lives. So very, very strong words really coming out in fact from Bimal Gurung today. So there's agitation really, no signs of abating. Tomorrow we know that at 9:30 in the morning, Gorkha Janmukti Morcha supporters will be laying siege to the district magistrate's office, whose quote we just heard, saying that that from the administration side, all efforts will be made to keep the law and order situation in control.
All right, so we'll have to leave it there, but thanks very much for joining us with all those updates from the hills of Darjeeling. So people, they're totally determined to get a separate state of Gorkhaland. Let's now shift focus to some more agitations taking place across the country, and this is on Vidarbha, while people of Maharashtra demanding a separate state of Vidarbha, they had joined the clamour for smaller states. Well, they did protest in the national capital surrounding Jantar Mantar. Around 60-70 activists from Vidarbha Joint Action Committee are holding protests near Jantar Mantar.
हमारे विदर्भ में बिजली की परेशानी होती है, शेतकरी को परेशानी होती है और बहुत सारी समस्या है जो हमारे विदर्भ के लोगों को होती है। हमको हमारा विदर्भ अलग चाहिए और ये लड़ाई जो है, ये लड़ाई 110 साल पुरानी लड़ाई है। इसलिए हम ये सोनिया गांधी जी को दिखाने के लिए आए हैं कि हमारी मांग अगर पूरी नहीं हुई तो हम और तीव्र आंदोलन करेंगे।
इनके साथ रह के ये कोई डेवलपमेंट होना नहीं है। हमारे साथ में सब रिपोर्ट्स के साथ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर तैयार है, क्योंकि ये सीपीएन बेरार की कैपिटल थी। सभी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर तैयार है, सरकार को कुछ करना नहीं है। और हमारे यहाँ कोल है, लाइमस्टोन है, सफिशिएंट वाटर है, 68% फॉरेस्ट है, उपजाऊ जमीन है, बहती रिवर्स है। ऐसी हालत में यदि हमारा ये होता है, और बिजली के बारे में हम स्वयंपूर्ण हैं।
Statehood for telling
statehood for Telangana has opened a Pandora's box for the centre. Here at Jantar Mantar, we have seen protesters gather demanding not just a separate statehood for Vidarbha but also for Bodoland. And the demand is that the fight for Vidarbha has been longer than that of Telangana, and the resources have not been given to the people of Vidarbha. They are saying that not just electricity but other important resources like coals and mines are not given to the people of that region, and that is the reason there have been several deaths in the state and farmers have also died. They clearly blame the Congress government, which has had a very long rule in the state, also saying that the allies like NCP are not coming out and supporting their cause of Vidarbha. It is very clear that they are not willing to relent and they will be taking forward their march, while on one side, just a few kilometers away, the parliament is in session. Visitor journalist Setu Himanshi Mata in New Delhi for NewsX.
So let's now get you some other top story of the nation. Well, despite the whole nation's support to the IAS officer Durga Shakti Nagpal, the Uttar Pradesh government is only upping its ante against her in the case. Well, they've clearly said that the revocation to her suspension will not happen until and unless, of course, the centre really intervenes and supports the cause openly. They have said, in fact, they've asked the centre to take back all the IAS officers they have, deposed there in the state of Uttar Pradesh, if at all they want to support Durga Shakti Nagpal. Well, in a brazen defiance to Centre's intervention on the issue, Ram Gopal Yadav has stated that if Centre plans to revoke her suspension, they can withdraw all the bureaucrats there from Uttar Pradesh. Even Mulayam Singh Yadav has supported his son's decision to suspend Durga Shakti Nagpal. In fact, Akhilesh has reiterated that if a government official misbehaves, she shall be punished. And Narayan Swamy had earlier confirmed that Centre is willing to help end the stalemate and can revoke Durga's suspension if she files an appeal with them. Prime Minister Manmohan Singh also pitched for justice for suspended IAS officer Durga Shakti Nagpal, saying rules have been laid down and will be followed in the case. Sources say that the Environment Minister too has shown concern in the case. He has sent a team to Noida to perform a ground check on sand mafia mining case.
इसी तरह सरकार चलती है. अगर कोई अधिकारी गलती करता है तो उसको सजा मिलेगी.
There are rules laid down and the rules will be followed, and we are in touch with the state government to find out the full details of the case.
उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार फिर ये कहेगी कि हमें किसी आईएएस की जरूरत नहीं है, सारे आईएएस को विड्रॉ कर लें, हम अपने राज्य के अधिकारियों से ही काम चला लेंगे.
As far as this case is concerned, we have to weigh and see on the basis of the material available, evidence available, report coming from the state government, and if the officer files an appeal, then we will be.
सस्पेंशन खत्म होगा, उससे बहुत दिक्कत हो जाती नहीं है.
सस्पेंशन रिवोक हो सकता है. उत्तर प्रदेश में तो कानून का राज नहीं, बल्कि गुंडों, बदमाशों, माफियाओं एवं अन्य अराजक तत्वों का राज चल रहा है. और ये जो
Let's go across to my colleague Priyank Tripathi, who gets us the details surrounding this case. Priyank, here's the case where this honest IAS officer has been supported even by the locals, which the government is alleging are crying foul on, demolition of that mosque. What is the local intelligence report now suggesting?
See, first of all, the local intelligence report which was submitted by the local intelligence unit of intelligence, it was basically an intelligence report which was given to the DG investigation based in Meerut. It says that there was a presence of SDM of Zevar, the SHO of that particular locality, and the circle officer were there. But it doesn't specifically mention the name of Durga Nagpal in that. Apart from that, if you talk about the local people, what are they saying? They have a mixed opinion. But but the political parties are trying to gain mileage out of the situation. Actually, there was this issue was raised about building up a mosque in a particular locality, although there was a mosque in that village, but the villagers, the old age people, were facing problems to reach to that location. Many political parties thought about it, but one of the political parties, which obviously was the Samajwadi Party, knew about this thing and they tried to take political mileage about the situation. 70% of the locality of those residents are Muslim. That's why Samajwadi Party leader reached there. But suddenly when they thought that Congress might take advantage of the situation, and suddenly when this mosque wall was demonstrated,